Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we continue to keep an eye on the goings on in Craven County around the manhunt for Dominic Connelly. It is now the 8th day of the hunt, and there have been a probable sighting of Connelly in Wilmer, which has prompted a large response from Craven County Sheriff's Office deputies, along with other law enforcement units. Now, Sheriff Chip Hughes said, quote, "This is a relatively new sighting. We don't know for sure if it's him, but it's a good lead. And like I've told you before, we follow up every lead thoroughly," end quote. Now, Hughes said a law enforcement officer spotted a man crossing the railroad tracks. He said, quote, "They got a decent look at him, pinpointed the location, and we immediately, within minutes, had bloodhounds that are currentently tracking right now. And that's why you see this air support hovering in this area," end quote. Now, the manhunt for Connelly is in its 8th day, as I mentioned earlier, and Hughes said there are 75 men and women now on the ground. Hughes says they are utilizing multiple special response teams, and last night they deployed the SBI's team because they have a lot of night vision capabilities. Now, the sheriff says some 40 to 45 sheriffs across the state have offered their resources. Yesterday, Hughes said a sighting of Connelly was reported to them from a ring camera that you're seeing on your screen right now on Highway 43 in Vanceboro. Now, local, state, and federal agencies search the area day and night, both on the ground and in the air. Deputies say that based on the items found during the track and search, the man seen in the footage is Connelly. Now, Connelly was last seen again wearing that desert sand-colored coveralls, and he is wanted for killing his grandmother at her home outside Havelock on October 25th. He's been on the run since last Wednesday after allegedly stabbing a deputy who confronted him at a fast food restaurant. If you have any information on the case, please call the Craven County Sheriff's Office at 252-636-6620. And now we want to turn our attention to the ongoing war in Gaza, where NBC's Matt Bradley has more from the Gaza Strip.
So you can see the horrible destruction behind me in the neighborhood of Shuja'iyah in the Gaza Strip. It's right near Gaza City, and only a month ago, you would have heard a chorus of war from where I'm standing. This was the scene of some of the most fiercest fighting of the 2 years of conflict here in the Gaza Strip. Now, there's a ceasefire, so all you can really hear are the sounds of drones overhead, but also, as you can see, the area behind me is basically uninhabitable. Now, the yellow line, that's the area where the Israelis have withdrawn to as part of this ceasefire deal. It's just off to my right, and this Israeli position polices that yellow line. But the Israelis say that Hamas is testing it on a daily basis, sending fighters right up to or trying to breach that yellow line, trying to test the ceasefire and trying to test Israeli forces. There's also other challenges. The Israelis are complaining that they're not getting back all of the bodies of those remaining hostages inside the Gaza Strip, and it was in this area just last night that the Hamas brought over the body of Itai Hen, one of the Israeli Americans, the last Israeli American still being held in the Gaza Strip. His dead body was surrendered over last night. But this ceasefire, while it still looks like it's holding, is only just remaining intact, and there's still negotiations for what is coming forward with Phase 2 and even Phase 3. All of this remains totally uncertain. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Shuja'iyah in the Gaza Strip.
Thank you very much, Matt, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast, and so far today, again, it's been a very sunny day. So sunny, in fact, that if you've been looking up in the sky recently, you may have seen the Goodyear blimp flying by. It landed at Pitt Greenville Airport just about 20-30 minutes ago. Here's a look at Pitt Greenville Airport. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got a view of the blimp. Hopefully we'll be able to turn that camera around here over the next hour or so, give you guys a good look. Right now, 72 degrees in Greenville, southwesterly wind at 11 miles an hour. This is a view through our New Bern cam. Again, enjoying a lot of sunshine today. The southwesterly winds have taken our air temperatures a little bit higher than where they were yesterday. Yesterday made it into the mid-60s. Today, low 70s, but tomorrow we're going to be back looking at the mid-60s again. But that's not even to mention the big cold blast we've got coming up next week. That's why coming up Monday night into Tuesday morning, we've got First Alert Weather Day status. Check out this big push of frigid air dropping down out of Canada. There it is, and again, moving into eastern North Carolina late Monday night into Tuesday. This is very, very cold air, cold enough that if we were, say, in January and we had a little moisture around, we'd be talking about snow. But we don't have any moisture around and we're not in January. So right now what we're talking about is our first freeze of the season. It will be with us coming up Monday night into Tuesday morning, and some of that cold air may stick around long enough to actually keep those freezing conditions present for Wednesday morning. Now, we will warm up through next week, but it's going to again be a pretty drastic drop from what we're going to see on Sunday to what we're going to see on Monday. Currently looking at air temperatures again, right around the low 70s. A southwesterly wind today have really brought the air temperatures up compared to yesterday. Winds today between around 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained. Over the next 24 hours, though, these winds are going to kind of do a full 360. West-southwesterly winds by 11. And watch as we head towards 7 a.m. tomorrow, looking at more of a northeasterly breeze. And then from there, we'll see those winds swing right on around to the southeast by the time we get to the early hours of Friday morning. That southeasterly wind, though, on Friday is going to do us quite a few favors. It's going to take us back into the low to mid 70s, and we'll get even warmer by Saturday and Sunday. For tomorrow morning, though, plan on starting out the day in the low to mid 50s, warming up into the low 60s as we head towards 10 to 11 a.m. and kind of plateauing in the mid 60s tomorrow afternoon thanks to a steady northeasterly breeze blowing in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour. Now, here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. And again, note Sunday to Monday. That is nearly a 30-degree drop, going from 80 degrees on Sunday to 52 on Monday. But it's the overnight lows that are more concerning. Yeah, we can deal with a temperature drop here in eastern North Carolina. We've been through our fair share of temperature swings, but it's going from overnight lows at 61 degrees Saturday night into Sunday morning to 29 degrees Monday night into Tuesday morning. That is really going to have an effect on people. Make sure those jackets are handy, even as air temperatures again reach into the 80s, certainly the upper 70s this coming weekend, with that frost freeze expected by the time we reach Tuesday morning. I do want to say thank you to everyone for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update. I do see we have a comment from Amy Parrish. What is he eating? He's got to be hungry. No break-ins have been reported. Bait him. Amy, I'm assuming you're talking about Dominic Connelly. And again, you bring up a great point. Not sure exactly what he's eating, how he is keeping himself going. But right now, again, it continues. The search continues. We'll hopefully hear more from deputies coming up later on tonight on our programs at 5 and 6 and 11 o'clock. Until then, though, that's all we have got from the Craven County Sheriff's Office, as well as the other law enforcement agencies participating in the search. But again, we'll have more news and weather coming up right here tomorrow morning, starting at 7:15 a.m. with Jim and Gigi. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here coming up tomorrow morning.